She wore my ring when she said yes to him, my sister, my blood. The same girl who used to borrow my clothes, my perfume, my words, now wearing my future on her finger. When the jeweler called, his voice was casual, polite even. "Miss, just confirming the resizing of your engagement ring. Your sister said you wanted it done before her proposal." My stomach didn't drop. It calcified. I remember I just said, "Thank you for letting me know," and then I hung up. That's when it began, the quiet war she never saw coming. Growing up, I was the responsible one. She was the storm. I protected her from bullies, lent her money when she overspent, even covered for her when she crashed Dad's car. She'd cry, I'd forgive. It was our pattern. I thought that was love. Turns out, it was training. When I got engaged to Ryan, a man who treated me like I was made of light, she smiled too wide at the announcement dinner. I thought it was pride. It was hunger. The next morning she came to my room with coffee, asking to see the ring up close. I placed it in her palm. She turned it under the light, eyes glinting like something sharp. "Must be nice," she murmured. I didn't notice the warning then. Weeks later, the ring vanished. Not stolen, borrowed, according to her. My parents looked at me like I was cruel when I asked for it back. "She's younger," my mother said softly. "She deserves a chance at happiness," my father added. As if happiness was a finite resource I'd been hoarding. As if betrayal could be justified by age. That night, I sat in my room and made a list. Not of revenge, but of balance. Because revenge is messy. Balance is clean. First, I called the jeweler back, told him there was a mix-up with the warranty. The ring wasn't just resized, it was insured in my name. I asked him to note the ownership clearly. Then I told him to engrave a special mark inside the band. My initials. Discreet, invisible to the naked eye. Next, I reached out to her boyfriend, Arham. We were cordial, never close. I invited him for coffee, said I wanted to talk about her upcoming surprise. He looked confused, but he came. When I casually mentioned my lost ring and its description, he froze. He'd just seen that ring last night, on her hand. He thought she'd inherited it from our late aunt. I smiled. That's one way to put it. My plan didn't involve screaming or confrontation. It involved patience, a performance where I held every string, every cue. A week later, she threw a little engagement party at home. I attended, dressed simply, smiling softly, the picture of grace. When she lifted her champagne glass, the ring caught the chandelier's light. My ring, my name engraved beneath her skin. I could have exposed her right there, but I waited. Instead, I made sure everyone saw me gift them a small jewelry box, saying, "Something special for the bride-to-be." Inside was a receipt, from the jeweler, engraved ownership, date, payment under my name. The room went still. Her smile wavered. Arham took the paper, reading in silence. His face drained color. Then the jeweler's call came, perfectly timed, pre-arranged. Speakerphone. "Miss, we completed the resizing of your ring. Congratulations again." His voice filled the air like a verdict. My parents tried to speak, but the weight of their own hypocrisy silenced them. She reached for me, tears brimming, muttering, "I didn't mean." But she did. She meant every ounce of envy, every calculated smile. Arham handed her the ring back without a word. Then he turned to me, eyes apologetic, almost ashamed for ever being part of her lie. I just said, "Keep it. It suits no one now," and walked out. A month later, she moved back into my parents' house. Engagement broken. Reputation cracked. They blamed me, of course. Said I should have handled it privately. But betrayal doesn't deserve privacy. It deserves exposure. Still, I wasn't done. When the jeweler posted a new ad online, the ring featured in it, custom-made design with hidden initials. I shared it. Caption, Some things are only meant for the right hand. It went viral. Her friends knew, her colleagues whispered, and for the first time, she learned what it feels like to be the spectacle she created. Now, sometimes she calls, leaves voicemails heavy with apologies. I never respond. Forgiveness is her new obsession. Mine is peace. The ring sits locked in a box, unworn, untouched. Not because it reminds me of pain, but because it reminds me that control, once reclaimed, doesn't need to shine. I don't hate her anymore. Hate is noisy. What I feel now is quieter, like the click of a phone after a jeweler's call. Final, precise, complete.